Hello and welcome to John R. Wooden Gymnasium on the campus of Martinsville High School for some boys volleyball. Tonight we have a matchup between the Monrovia Bulldogs and your Martinsville Artesians. It's all brought to you on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel and IHSAA TV. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bo Dilly. The Artesians are looking to bounce back up to 500 after going 1-2 in a tournament over the weekend. Martinsville started out rough, getting swept 2-0 by Ben Davis in the first game, but then they came back and swept Crawfordsville 2-0 in the second game, and then they finished off their day losing to Whiteland 2-1, dropping their record to 6-7. This team is led heavily by their lone senior Avery Sylvester, who leads the team in every single category except for assists. We will pause for the national anthem. Your Martinsville Artesians are actually 7-7 right now, so they are sitting at an even 500. And like I said, this team is led heavily by their lone senior, Avery Sylvester, and he leads the team in every single category except for assists, which are led by his brother, the setter, Cam Sylvester. And on the other side of the court, it is the Monrovia Bulldogs. This team comes in at a very solid 14-7, their most recent win being over Whiteland 3-2. These two teams played each other twice last year, and things didn't go very well for Martinsville as Monrovia did come out victorious in both of those games. This Bulldog team is led by their sophomore powerhouse hitters, Derby Gilkerson and Hayden Nahara. Gilkerson leading the team in kills and Nahara leading in blocks. Both of these players are going to be a tough matchup for Sylvester and his Artesians, and I'm just excited to see how this one plays out tonight. Bulldogs will start out serving tonight. Two solid teams. Artesians sitting at 7-7 and even 500. The Bulldogs 14-7. Really solid team. Those two powerhouse hitters, Gilkerson and Nahara, are kind of like Sylvester for the Artesians. I mean, they're just leading in just about every single category for their team. And they're just sophomores as well. Nahara 6'3", and Gilkerson 6'2". And it will actually be the Artesians serving first. It's Cam Sylvester. Sylvester has 21 aces this year. And not that time, as that one is a little bit too strong there from Gilkerson. So the Artesians will strike first, 1-0 Martinsville. Gaston to receive. Here's Ellis trying to find a spot, doesn't. Sylvester hits it over. And there's a hard hit by Gilkerson, but Domingo was there, but Gilkerson was also right there to just pat it right on down. Counted as a kill for Gilkerson and a block. And Gilkerson served too much for Owen Zarita, the junior. So Gilkerson with the kill and then the ace right after. Zarita makes up for it that time. Sylvester too strong. 3-1 Bulldogs. Gilkerson to serve once again. Domingo. Serve receive, kind of struggling for the Artesians right now. Gilkerson just trying to push this lead even farther, and there's an error, so the Artesians will score, making it 2-4 early on here. Owen Zarita to serve. It's a good spot there by Zarita, but a better job by Gaston, as not enough lift there by Brown. Same spot, another tough, good play by Gaston. And the Bulldogs, another error. So good job by Owen Zarita hitting the same spot, knowing exactly where to hit it. And made Gaston try to make an acrobatic play both times. And both times it worked out for the Artesians, as there's a nice block from Sylvester on Nahara. Great timing from Sylvester there as well, because Nahara, like I said, he's 6'3", he gets up. And although Avery Sylvester is listed at 6'3", I think that might be a little generous max prep height there, as no chance there from Nahara to Zarita. Kind of got caught in an odd position. So now serving will be Danny Jones for the Bulldogs. Jones is top 10 in his class, the senior. Sylvester finding the spot, and that's in. Yeah, I mean, that's really tough to do, kind of turning your wrist like that. What you got to do is, if you want to get it to go to that left side, you got to turn your wrist when you hit it, and it's really hard to get a powerful hit like that. But Sylvester beautifully that time, as there's Miller, the captain. Zarita free ball over. And Nahara pounds it down, but Zarita's there and just can't quite get it over the net. So really, that's not, can't really be mad at Zarita, because when you have such a power hitter like Nahara, you just, all you can do is try and keep it up, and he did a good job of it there. Just kind of got to count on having a teammate there, as Sylvester timed that one wrong, just had to tip it over, and huge miscommunications for the Bulldogs, which gives the Artesians a lead, 7-6. Communication is key in a game like this, and in a sport like volleyball. And there's Garrett Gardner, the third year, he's a junior. Gardner has 10 aces, make it 11 now. Nahara received it and killed it. That one a little strong for Zarita, but with the help of Domingo, he kept it alive, and would have been 4 hits for the Artesians, so Sylvester just lets it drop, and Nahara is second on the team in aces with 30 of them. Of course, that one was not an ace, but still a point, and that one would be an ace. So make that 31. Nahara is also second on the team for kills. He has 204. And to put that into perspective, the Artesians have 276 as a team. And there's another ace for Nahara to push the lead 10-8. And you can hear Coach Sylvester telling Owen Zarita to take a few steps back, because he's having to stick his hands in the air, and that's definitely not how you want to make contact with those balls. Nahara the set, Gilkerson the tip. Gardner. Nahara. Gilkerson. Well, I talked about Nahara. Gilkerson is leading the team in kills, 257. Nahara still to serve. Kind of just caught Zarita in a bad spot. Got to kind of clean that up if you're Martinsville. Not playing very sharp right now. Is just kind of letting Nahara pick you apart, really. And it's just a really impressive tip there by Hodge. But Miller will get it. Cannot quite poke it in. Artesians finally strike back after that little 4-0 run by the Bulldogs, and now their leader Sylvester will serve. Avery has 25 aces this year. That one just free-balled over. Here's Gardner. Cam Sylvester finding the spots again. Yeah, Cam Sylvester not necessarily a hitter last year at all, but this year he's kind of stepped into that role. He's playing that front row, so lots of improvement there from him. And here's Miller, and then Cam Sylvester again, right as I was talking about him, getting that block. Closing the gap for the Artesians. They're down just one, and they still have Sylvester serving. And there's another block for the Artesians. That time it was Zarita and Bennett. Kind of taking advantage of Hodge, just trying to tip it over. They reading what he's doing, just getting their hands right there. Not letting it go through. Here's Miller. Gilkerson tips it over. And Sylvester does the same. Monrovia just has to flip it over now. As does Martinsville. Nahara, good play there, getting to that one. But Gilkerson tried to tip it over. Was not successful, so now we're tied up at 12s. And that's an ace. I mean, that's a great spot by Avery Sylvester. Really no question. I could see it from my angle, and I don't have the greatest angle. So Sylvester playing a huge role right now for Martinsville. And there's a great serve receive from Domingo. Sylvester. Gardner to the other Sylvester. And that one gets through as well. 15-12 now, Artesians. Sylvester putting together a very nice run with the help of his brother. And there is a fault for Monrovia, so Martinsville receives the point. Here's Sylvester with the serve. Gilkerson not successful in tipping it over. Domingo will just free ball it. Free balls both way here as of right now. Gilkerson tried to get the kill there and did succeed. Artesians tried to get a hand up to block that, and they did. That's what you want to do, is get a hand up there. But I mean, the good part about that is if you do make contact with the ball and it kind of just floats over, maybe goes towards the ground, you can still, even if you're the guy that blocks the ball off the net, you can still dive and try and keep it alive. So another nice play from Domingo. Gilkerson too strong on the right side. So Martinsville coming out hot. On paper, they're the underdog, stats and record-wise, really. Sylvester just kicks it to keep it alive. Tips it over. Perfect. Nahara tried to do the same thing, kick it like Sylvester did, but he did not succeed in doing so. And now the Artesians are up 18-13 here in set number 1. and that's Gilkerson doing what he does there. I mean, eventually if he hits it hard enough, it's going to be tough to block it, because sometimes you'll block it and it'll just go all the way to the other side past that white line. So if you hit it hard enough, it's really hard to play defense on stuff like that. As there's a tip from Brown, and it is successful. Coach Mackenzie Long cheering her team on here, trying to get them to put together a little run maybe. Gaston to serve. Not what you need if you're trying to put a little run together, like I said. Cameron Sylvester now. 21 aces for Cam. He played a huge role in that run that Martinsville just put on, which got them this 4-point lead, really. Miller to Gilkerson. Domingo just doing a great job of keeping it alive, doing what he needs to do, trusting his teammates, letting them do the same. Here's Zarita. That one sailed just a little bit too far. Zarita with 33 kills this year. That's not something that you saw him do last year much. He kind of played the role that Sylvester did as well. He was mainly just a back row player, but now they're kind of getting those back row sets, and they're putting some faith in Zarita. There's the back row set to Sylvester to push the lead 20-16. Artesians inching closer to that 25-point mark. So Zarita still to serve. Here's Nahara. Not a hand on it from Martinsville, and really not much you can do. Right there you had Shaboya and Dunscombe, the blockers, and both of them are listed at 5'10", but might be an inch or two shorter than that. But Nahara with his height and then his hops, I mean. Here's Sylvester. Gaston keeping that one alive. Dunscombe just tipping it over. Gilkerson to Nahara, powerhouse to powerhouse. Sylvester almost finds a spot there. And he tried to get the hand up to block it. Couldn't quite do so. Nice little rally there from each side. So Jones to serve again. Here's Dunscombe. First set we've seen from him, and that one too strong. So now Martinsville with just a 1-point lead now. Jones hoping to push that, hoping to close that gap, tie it up here. And Sylvester with the smart play, kind of the meeting the ball at the high point and just pushing it over. Tipping off the Bulldogs' fingertips. So we have a little bit of a, I think Gaston accidentally hit the line judge. I think we're just going to be checking on that line judge, making sure she's all right, because Gaston did get a pretty good piece of her there. She's tough, though. She ate it. She's staying in there, too. Mr. Meyer telling me to slide down. I guess I'm yelling in his ear here or something. Yeah, so now we're getting a replacement line judge. She's kind of learning the learning the rules right now, it looks like. But, yeah, and talking to Coach Long before this game, she said that they're continuing to work as a team and just need to improve their defensive game. They're also trying to incorporate a more variety of their hitting as far as their offense goes, really.
Yeah, Maya said we get you down there.
As here's the first-year player, Jesus Domingo. He has 11 aces, and he also has 138 digs. Gaston the receive. Gilchristen the free ball over. Sylvester to Sylvester. Gilchristen there. And Nahara. It's kind of one that it's tough to play defense on because he meets it at the high point to where really he can either swat it down like he did there, or he can just tip it over too and kind of try and find the spot. That time, like I said, he swatted it, and just a 21-20 lead for Martinsville now as Ellis serves, barely gets it over, and it works to his advantage, tying it up at 21. Sylvester dove at that one, couldn't quite get the dig, and that will force Sean Sylvester into taking the first timeout that we have had tonight. Yeah, Sean said that his team has really come a long way since the first day of the season, and I mean, they're not blessed with any athletic ability, he said, but you know, the boys have bought into learning the fundamentals and in most cases are driven to excel. And yeah, in talking to Sean before the game, he kind of gave me a little bit of information about each player, and one thing that he had on most of the players that he had to say about them was that they're all really driven to work hard, and they have that hard-working mindset. They're tough, gritty, which is really all you can ask for, especially when you have a lot of first-year players like the Artesians do. I mean, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 first-year players right now, and that's just on the varsity side. I mean, there's a lot more, I'm sure, on the JV side of things, but that's where you kind of got to rely on your seniors or your 3-year players like Sylvester and Zarita are. Speaking of Sylvester, good block from Monrovia. And Nahara right into the face of Eli Bennett. Nahara with 3.3 kills per set. And here is Bennett. I think they're calling a double on Monrovia there, so the Artesians tie it back up at 22, and now they have the advantage to serve. And it will be Garrett Gardner who rotates with Cam Sylvester as the setter. Jerry, I say Jerry, I always called him Jerry when I played. Everyone calls him Jerry, but Garrett is in his 3rd year as theirs. That one just barely tipped by Martinsville, so Miller kind of lucked out there. But now they have the advantage. They have a 1-point lead, and then they got Nahara serving as well, who has 30 aces. Sylvester yelling out, but I think it was in, and Domingo made the right decision to keep it in. Gardner there for the tip. Nahara to Hodge. Sylvester. Works like a charm. I said it earlier, Avery Sylvester leading the team in just about every category, and that obviously includes kills. He's got 148 of them this year. Zarita there to block it, but Gilchristen just had too much power on it. Some confusion here on who got the point. They did. I think they gave it to, yeah, they did give it to Monrovia. Yeah, scoreboard is right now. So here's Judson Miller, the senior, the leader as well. Zarita tips it over. tying it up at 24 apiece here in set one. And now Bennett to try and close this thing out. Miller receives. Going to Gilkerson, of course. Gilkerson pokes it right on in there. So just 1 point away from a set one victory is Gaston with his serve. And it's Dunscombe just free balls it over, so now Monrovia is going to have a real opportunity here. And they're going to take it. Did they say he tipped it? They gave the point to Martinsville. They say he did not touch it. The Bulldogs can't believe it. Neither can Coach Long. I think we're going to have a discussion here between the officials. So we have one of our officials talking to the replacement line judge who's like, hey, man, I just got thrown into this role. After further discussion, it is confirmed. Martinsville ties it back up, 25 apiece. So Cam Sylvester will try to add to his 21 aces. Gilkerson, just no chance for Domingo to get there, and he's sitting on the ground there. He kind of gave a deep breath there, because kind of a sigh of relief they didn't get a concussion there maybe. But Gilkerson gets rewarded for his kill with a serve to close this one out. Tough scene there for the Artesians, but they do get it over, and I think they called it in. So now Monrovia gets the point, and then the Bulldogs will indeed take set one in a hard-fought set one. That is 27-25. Monrovia takes it. You're watching Martinsville versus Monrovia on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel and IHSAA TV.
We just got a good group of guys that can shock some people. We know what we're capable of, and there's no secret recipe to that. We're just going to work hard and, get to where we want to get to.
Let's go!
We're a young, hungry group. We're ready to go. We just want to win. We're ready to get started.
At Home Bank, we value our communities. Homegrown. Home style. Home team. Home for the holidays. Your new home. Because at the end of the day, this is your bank. And when a bank really understands your needs, you feel at home.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance. And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
fire. His three.
And we are back here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. Set one went to the Bulldogs. It was a really tough set, though. The Artesians actually scored 25 points, but the Bulldogs had 27, so really the most you can get out of the Artesians was there. And there's a quick early point for the Bulldogs as we start set two. They get a 1-0 lead. That one from Gilkerson. Leader in most of their categories, one of those being aces. Gardner, tough position there, just had to kind of flip it up and ended up going out of bounds on the other side. So 2-0 the Bulldogs. Gilkerson still to serve. Here's Sylvester, tips it over. Nahara does the same. Zarita trying to fight for it. Gardner just keeps it alive. That one way over. Good free ball there from Gardner. And that one sneaks right over the hands of Sylvester and Dunscombe. That was Brown. And on that possession, we saw the serve go to Avery Sylvester, and that's something that we see a lot. Avery receives the most serves on the team with 203, and that's really because you want to target their best hitter, which is Sylvester, and if you target him, then it kind of throws off all of his motions, and he kind of has to, he has to do his normal serve receive routine, and then he can't get into his steps that he normally does, and messes them up a little bit and just makes it tougher for the Artesians to get the set that they want to him. But a point for the Artesians there, and Sylvester Cameron, that is, will serve. Cameron to Avery. Blocked, but went on the same side as the Bulldogs were on, so. And that's when you kind of got to angle your hands kind of at a 45-degree angle, maybe just so they hit the palm of your hand and then go down on the other side of the net. If you don't do that, then it'll just go straight down to your feet, which is what happened there. And that kind of goes back to what I said there. If your hands are straight up or maybe bent back, they might have been bent back there for the Artesians, and that could be why the ball sailed over their heads after they made contact with it. But regardless, here is Danny Jones, also a soccer player. Gaston, Gilkerson. Here's Zarita. Didn't get the timing quite right there as Owen punches that one into the net. Jones trying to push this 5-2 lead to even more. Libero, Gaston. Gaston just gets it over. Here's Nahara trying to find the spot. Free balls both ways, but Nahara tried to get a kill there. Net kind of screwed him a little bit. That one not successful for the Bulldogs. They couldn't quite get it over. The Artesians capitalize. And now the junior, third year, Owen Zarita. Miller too strong. Here is Nahara. Sylvester blocked that one, but thankfully Jones is there to recover. Flipped over by Beard. Sylvester straight up and down for Avery. Coach Long for the Bulldogs described Martinsville as a team that seems to have a lot of heart and good leadership, and that kind of makes me think of one of her players. That's number 7, Judson Miller. When we played Monrovia both times, didn't matter what the score was, who was winning, he always seemed to have a great attitude. He never talked to the other team, really. Just kind of talked to his own team and built them up the whole time and really established that leadership role, and that's why he's a captain as well. Ross Beard, the senior. And Sylvester, Beard couldn't quite get there. Maybe wasn't down and ready like he should have been. Maybe Sylvester just hit it too hard. Coach Sylvester said that Monrovia plays great defense, and they know that they need to serve tough with a very low error ratio. Just put the ball away on the first attempt. That's what they need to improve on. And that means just once that ball goes over and the Artesians get it, they need to serve, receive, set, spike. Bump, set, spike. As here is Domingo, his serve. Good play by Miller to get there with the dig. Sylvester pops it over. Flipped over by Hodge. A double block there. Does end up going in favor of the Artesians. That was Bennett. Just met Hodge up there at the apex of the ball. Domingo just short on that one. Nahara to serve. 222 assists for Nahara, as that one almost came up here. 30 aces. Adding on to that total tonight is Nahara, as he ties it up 8-8. Gardner to check in for Shibuya. He will get the serve himself. Garrett has 10 aces, 47 digs, and 104 assists, so seen a lot more time on varsity than he did last year as well. He's really a cool story with Garrett. He's worked really hard all 3 years that he's played, and kind of got thrown on JV both of his first years, but now it's really paying off for him, and yeah, he is a good player as well. I'll give it to him. As he sets it to Sylvester. Gilkerson trying to punch it over. I think he wants a little bit higher set there, maybe. But the star of the Artesian, Sylvester, will serve regardless. As Sylvester just keeps it up. That one up and over. Artesians get the point, pushing the lead to 11-9 here in set 2. Like I said earlier, the Bulldogs did take set 1 here. Sylvester to serve again. Miller the receive. Nahara just keeping it up. Hodge pokes it over. Gardner to Sylvester. Miller just barely gets there and hit it right in the air. He was kind of confused there, but no one was there to back him up, so another point for the Artesians. They're up 12-9 now to this very solid Bulldogs team. Artesians come in at 7-7. The Bulldogs 13-7. So obviously Monrovia played a lot more games than the Artesians. They have also entered more tournaments, which is really the reason for that. Both of these teams, their most recent game being Whiteland, as the Artesians lost 1-2. That was a tournament game, and then the Bulldogs beat them 3-2, so 5 sets. Miller with the nice athletic play, flexible to get down there in the infinite squat. So now the first year Eli Bennett to serve. He's a sophomore and he has 10 aces. Just no shot there from Gilkerson. He's going to get the serve now after that. Cutting the lead down to 2. Hopefully closing the gap to 1 here for the Bulldogs. And Zarita just needed to get the free ball over there. He kind of tried to put it lower and at a certain spot, and to no avail, really. Sylvester pops it over, but Nahara was right there. And there's Dunscombe, the sophomore. Tip worked to his advantage there. Kind of my bread and butter when I played last year. Remember, I played Beech Grove. Got player of the game on Max Preps, or Huddle. Beech Grove wasn't the most talented team last year, though, but still pat myself on the back for that one. Nahara can't get there, neither can Gilkerson, and the Artesians. Another point, 15-12 now in favor of Martinsville here in set 2. And Nahara just saw some smoke come off of that one when it went straight at Cam Sylvester. Now Jones with the serve. No good from Nahara. Kind of tried to throw the ball down a little bit. Artesians knew it was coming. Miller can't quite get it down, but it was a block from Martinsville, but they not the point for Martinsville, though. And now we have Ross Beard, the senior, serving. Sylvester with the receive to the other Sylvester, back to Sylvester. Avery once again trying to find the spot, but Monrovia barely keeps it alive. Beard just free balls it over. Good job both sides keeping that one alive, but inevitably Fisher Dunscombe couldn't quite get it over, and you might wonder why I was announcing this one alone. That's because my partner, as we have a timeout called from Martinsville now, as the lead is pushed from just 16-15 now. Yeah, you might wonder why I was calling this game alone. I'll let you tell them, Maddox.
So I had some football practice for the Martinsville.
How long has that been scheduled for? Probably just today, right?
No, it's been scheduled for quite a while.
Oh.
I just wanted to put you through the test here, Bo.
Hey, that's all right, man. Hey, well, I got a text from my mom saying that I'm doing great, so maybe you can put that down and go home after all.
Maybe I will. So, Bill, give me a little rundown of how this game has gone.
Yeah, so it was a hard-fought battle in set 1, really. I mean, it was close the whole time. No team really jumped out. The biggest run that we had was probably 5-0, and it ended up being Monrovia took it 27-25. Yeah, it was a pretty long set, but yeah, the Bulldogs did take it, and now they're kind of inching their way back here. Martinsville's had the advantage last game, really. Kind of had the lead the whole time, just a short lead, and then they've had the lead the whole time tonight, too, but it's been number 10, Nahara. Nahara's kind of been carrying the load for the Bulldogs, but Dunscombe barely gets it over. He's laughing. Gets a pat on the back from Coach Sylvester, and now Domingo to serve. Just another miscommunication there. Gilkerson or Nahara or Hodge, none of them knew which one that one was going to. Another error for the Bulldogs. 19-15 now in favor of Martinsville.
These aces are going down as, these errors from Monrovia are going down as aces for Jesus Domingo. He had 11 coming into this game.
Miller gets his tip blocked from Bennett. Now Martinsville with a 5-point lead, 20-15 here in set 2. A solid chance to go up 2-0. Gilkerson sets it to Nahara. Things are just not clicking for the Bulldogs, Maddox. They're just not.
That's right. As soon as I got here, I kind of feel like I've been good luck for the Arties. As soon as we got here, they started going on a bit of a run there after that timeout.
Nahara tips it over, but great job by Bennett there keeping that alive. Sylvester the free ball. And Hodge pokes it over.
Nice hustle from Eli Bennett.
Yeah, the sophomore Bennett in his first year. Maddox, I was talking about how Coach Sylvester described pretty much all of his players as, really hardworking, a lot of grit to them, just never quit, and that's all you can ask for, really.
That's right. We emailed him earlier this week for some info on the game, and he said that he loves how his team has been working together. He said that they've put aside their egos and decided to really work as a team. He said it's really gone a lot better than it has in previous years, although this is his first year as head coach.
And how about this little run we got going here, and eventually Martinsville with the point. 22-16. Some substitutions being made, but all the momentum for the Artesians right now.
Now the 6-foot Garrett Gardner will take to serve.
Yeah, I talked about how there were some generous heights on Max Preps.
Maybe.
I asked Gardner about that before the game. I said, Jerry, they got you at 6 foot. He said, I'm about 5'7". I said, yeah, that's what I thought.
I have a weights 6 period with one of the players as well. Cameron Sylvester listed as 6'2".
And I played last year, and I stood next to Cameron many times, and I'm probably a head taller than him. I'm not 6'2", Maddox.
That's right.
But hey, you can't blame anyone for that, because that's what all teams do, really.
That's
you
right.
Got to give yourself some leeway there.
That's
I know
right.
Luke Cheatham, who was an announcer last year, he was also in Rewind last year, football player, he listed at 6'3". Luke was probably not 6 foot. Here's Domingo Sylvester from the back row. Too strong. So still a 5-point lead for Martinsville, and they're only 2 points away from taking this next set, Maddox, and going up 2-0 against a very solid Bulldogs team. Ooh. They called it out. The Artesians did. They told Domingo not to hit it. But that one was well in, and now Gaston, he's been libero since his freshman year, the junior.
Nice serve.
Gardner to the younger Sylvester. Absolute money from the Artesians. Just 1 point away from victory.
You know, Cameron Sylvester may not be 6'2", may not even be 5'8". I mean, he can get up there above that net and get some solid spikes down.
It's all about how tall you act like you are, really.
That's right.
How tall you think you are. As here's the claps from the Artesians as Bennett soars it over. Artesians still with a comfortable 4-point lead. Gilgerson the serve. 40 aces, he leads the team. Gilgerson to Nahara. Right on Cam Sylvester's head.
Looks like they had the block initially and then it shot up into space, and neither of those gentlemen could find it.
So Gardner to Sylvester, who just pops it over, makes Miller make a tough play on it, and then Nahara just has to free ball it over. There's a good serve receive from the hitter, Brown, there. And that one, Domingo couldn't quite get to it, but Sylvester keeps it alive. Gardner couldn't quite get there, though. Avery Sylvester with the soccer play there, really. He is a soccer player. Chasing down the ball and kicking it. Probably going to add that one to his highlight reel if I had to guess. He'll just cut that clip a little bit short as Gardner couldn't quite get there, but
Very
Martinsville.
athletic play. I thought there's no way he was getting to it. As soon as it tipped off to the hands of his younger brother.
Yeah, and Sylvester, actually, you might not be able to tell, but he does kind of suffer from an injury, which limits his reps at practice, but obviously not affecting him tonight, Maddox.
That's right. I've done PA for a few of these boys' volleyball games, and it seems that every time out sort of massages or treats to his lower half. I think it is his leg or ankle, foot near. Something on that lower part of his body has been bothering him all season, and especially playing club volleyball as well. Definitely takes a toll on his body.
And talking to head coach Mackenzie Long, she said that her group of guys need to play smart and play aggressive on offense as well, and that's kind of what we're seeing. They're tipping it a lot more, which is kind of where that smart comes into play, Maddox. And then I don't want to say not playing smart, but I mean just kill, spike, spike. That's kind of not really thinking too much, just going out and playing, but they're playing smart, playing cautious with the tips, and it's kind of paying off right now. I mean, they are down 1-0 in the sets, but they're really inching back here. At one point, they were down 23-17. Now they're down 24-23. But just one wrong move here, and it could be over for the Bulldogs for set 2. Gilkerson to Brown. Dunscombe got blocked, but good job keeping it alive, too. Sylvester just free balls it over, and now Monrovia's going to have an opportunity here. They will not capitalize as of right now. Sylvester.
Both Sylvesters in that play laying out for the ball.
The saving play from Cam Sylvester, and I mean, what a play there from Domingo. Kicking it over. Max, this is good stuff here.
It sure is.
Some team is going to go crazy no matter what.
High quality boys volleyball. Still in action.
Brown with a tough position there. Cam Sylvester just free balling it over.
Bulldogs take the point.
In the end, it is Monrovia celebrating. So now 24s apiece here in set 2. Gardner, new possession here for his boys. And Nahara ends this run for now. It's not over yet, Maddox.
That's right. If I'm correct, this did happen last set. Winner has to win by 2 points.
Yeah, actually, there was a long discussion here at this point. Monrovia could have won it, but Martinsville did get the point, tying it at 25. And then they got the next 2 points as well. And Nahara just being Nahara there, Maddox. Getting the kill. Sealing this second set for his boys. 26-20. Monrovia takes set number 2. You're watching Martinsville versus Monrovia on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel and IHSAA TV.
We just got a good group of guys that can shock some people. We know what we're capable of, and there's no secret recipe to that. We're just going to work hard and, get to where we want to get to.
Let's go!
We're a young, hungry group, ready to go. We just want to win. Ready to get started.
At Home Bank, we value our communities. Homegrown. Home style. Home team. Home for the holidays. Your new home. Because at the end of the day, this is your bank. And when a bank really understands your needs, you feel at home.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance. And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
He'll fire his 3.
And we are back at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. As I've been telling you this whole time, Monrovia up 2-0 now in the sets. They did take the first one, and now they took the second one. The first one close, 27-25. In the second one, Maddox, that was a real thriller one. We had some really good possessions there, and Monrovia came back from being down 23-17, and they ended up going on an 8-1 run and taking that set.
That's right. I love the runs that were happening last set. Both teams, no matter who scored, the audience was going to go crazy just because it was some good volleyball being played. And now Monrovia is up 2-0 in the match. It is not tied 1-1, as some might have thought after listening to Bo last set.
Maddox, I'm trying for the life of me to figure out what you're talking about right now, but I don't think we're on the same page here. I've been saying 2-0 this whole time, and
right.
That one off the dome of Fisher Dunscombe. And Monrovia ties it up 1 apiece now. Gilkerson the serve. 257 kills, 4.1 kills per set. Nahara just barely pokes it over. That's what you got to do, Maddox.
That's right. Some nice work. Once you get up there, you realize you're not spiking it, so might as well just find a hole in that defense there, and that's exactly what he did. It's what Cameron Sylvester for the Arties likes to do. I've seen it quite a few times throughout this season.
Gilkerson plays on the first team for Academy Volleyball Club. He is 4th in the state in kills and 5th in the state in aces. So he dominates in both categories.
Now, speaking of Derby Gilkerson, what a first name, huh?
What a last
Derby.
name, too. His brother, Bodie Gilkerson, now a high jumper at Purdue University. Broke the state record his senior year for high jump. He actually went to Plainfield, though. Bodie did go to Monrovia up until high school, I believe, which is when he made the switch to Plainfield.
Bodie and Derby.
Brown with the nice shot there. Haven't seen that out of him really a lot, but just when they need him to keep this run going. 5-1 Bulldogs now. Looking to end this night early and go home in 3 sets. Nahara right to Domingo. Here's Miller. Nahara kind of lucks out there, Maddox. He hit it, and it really hung on that net for a while before it kind of went to the side and barely snuck in that line.
Definitely caught the Arties off guard there.
Zarita pokes it right over. Dunscombe. A lot of umph on that one. Line judge calls it out, and Maddox, it's our second line judge because one of them went down earlier.
Oh, no.
Got smoked with the ball. Looked like it hurt. Yeah, that's our second line judge so far, and oddly enough, the official had to come over and have a talk with her after one of the calls she made, just kind of the way it goes. But, yeah, she didn't sign up for this role at all, and then she's in talking about some big, important plays to this game, too. But Sylvester trying to block Brown there. Did get a piece of it, but
is it a head injury, Bo?
Ended up going out. No, I think it was somewhere in the back.
It's tough to see.
Definitely.
Now you try to keep these
definitely going
referees
to leave a bruise.
Yeah, for sure. Try to keep these referees safe. You know, these line judges they're not getting paid to do this. You know, it's a volunteer thing, so they definitely want to keep an eye out for their safety.
It's not easy either, Maddox. I did a line judge for a JV game last year, and I was scared. I was scared. There's some tough calls.
Right. Always got to keep a keen eye, keep a good lookout. You know, that flag's not doing a whole lot. You know, you can hold it up, maybe try to defend yourself. Use it as a sword action maybe, but not a whole lot you can do there.
Right about that one. Here's Ellis. Haven't heard his name too much tonight, and Sylvester pounds it home on the other side. So Domingo, the libero for Martinsville, taking over John Cook's role this senior last year. And Domingo with the ace. And there's Nahara, kind of starting to get in his bag, Maddox. He's up with his team 10-5 now. A comfortable lead like this. Sylvester to Sylvester. And Avery tips it right over. Avery got the serve receive to his brother. And then Cam Sylvester, the leader in assists for the Artesians. 159 of them. Gets another one there.
It's a nice duo there. The Sylvester brothers, Cameron as the setter and Avery as the hitter. Bill, it reminds me of me and you in our Y-ball season last year.
Maybe.
You know, that little point guard and center action. Give me a feed and I'll dish you when you cut.
That's what was supposed to happen for sure.
Yeah.
Here's Sylvester. Blocked by Gilkerson. A good athletic play from both of those guys there. Monrovia with the point. I think they're going to say Sylvester crossed. Coach Sylvester, Avery and Cam's dad, keeping them in high spirits. And that's just a really good serve, Maddox, from Nahara. Kind of a float serve there. It's not one that, you know, drills into the ground or anything. Right. It just looks like it's coming right at you, and then right at the end it dies down so quick.
It's such a long wingspan, such a tall frame.
Yeah, if you ever want to know how the float serve is supposed to look, that's exactly right there. Gilkerson trying to make an acrobatic play on that one. Doesn't get it over. Sylvester tips off the net. Gardner keeps it alive. Here's Zarita. Free ball over. And there's a point for the Artesians. Miller to serve now. Bennett trying to get it over. Hodge blocked it. Cam Sylvester free ball over. Keeping it alive, and Monrovia ends up getting the point. Miller now with the serve.
Serve goes out from Miller. Artesians hopefully trying to claw back. Score 8-15 now. The sophomore Bennett to serve.
Hodge with the tip over. Not successful. Martinsville cutting the lead, 15-9 now for the Bulldogs. Maddox, I know you weren't here for the first set and half of the second set, but it's kind of how it went. But for Martinsville, they had a comfortable lead the whole time and then just slowly lost it to the Bulldogs in each of the sets, and now it's the Bulldogs with the comfortable lead. And I'm sure Martinsville's hoping to do the same thing that Monrovia did to them twice.
That's right.
So 15-10 now in favor of the Bulldogs. And that one, yeah, that snuck in. Bennett with the ace, the untouched ace.
It's a tough call from Miller, too. I mean, not really sure if you're supposed to let that one go or not. It was a really close call.
Yeah, that's when you got to rely on your teammates, really.
Can't really blame them.
You got kind of a voice in the back of your head saying, I don't know, but then you got the actual voices of your teammates. Could be the people on the bench, could be your other back row players that you have alongside you, but
yeah, I think bench players play a huge role in that. You know, the players on the end of the bench sort of have a really good eye for that.
Kudos to Marshall Robbins there for tracking that ball down. That sucker landed in Narnia. He's sitting next to his brother, Robert Robbins. We call him Bob Robbins.
That's one heck of a name.
I like the name Marshall, too.
So do I.
Powerful kill from Gilkerson.
And off he goes again.
Marshall just doing the dirty work. And now Coach Sylvester wants a timeout as his boys are down. Have some life here.
That's right, Bo. You mentioned it earlier, although I was not here for the first set and half of the second. Martinsville had a comfortable lead, and the Bulldogs kicked it into a different gear and started picking things up and came back ultimately for the win. Both of those had to go into almost sudden death, rather, win by 2, as both teams reached 25 within a point of each other. Hopefully Martinsville is able to claw their way back into this one, 17-11. If the Bulldogs win this set, that's going to be the match.
Yeah, and this Artesian team, some upcoming games, they play at Perry Meridian, the powerhouse in Perry Meridian, that is. And then they play Terre Haute North Vigo at home. Should be a good one, really. Last year it went to 5 sets, and then they play Whiteland, who they just lost to 2-1. And Gaston with the ace on Zarita Maddox. Coach Sylvester has a lot of respect for this Monrovia men's volleyball team. He said they developed an outstanding volleyball program, and they also invested in sand volleyball courts outside of their school.
Wow.
Yeah, so
speaking of sand volleyball, beach volleyball is what Coach Sylvester played professionally in his time as a volleyball player, which led him to coach this Martinsville team and probably get both of his sons interested in the sport.
He was also a tennis coach at Martinsville, too, and he has an older son that was a really good tennis player, too. And, Avery plays tennis. Cam does not, but, quite a resume for Coach Sylvester as his son tries to keep it alive there, but to no avail. Artesians down now 19-12, but, really good resume for Coach Sylvester. He played some serious club volleyball as well, where he got the chance to play against some of the best collegiate volleyball players in the world.
In beach volleyball, he played doubles. That was his thing, so doubles is not the same as six-man volleyball and on a court. So he said he owes all that stuff to Kelsey Patrick. He can work on the fundamentals all he wants, but Kelsey Patrick, the assistant coach for the Arties, is really the one who puts that stuff together. I said he owes a lot of that team stuff to her. It was when he played, it was just him and another guy. So
Maddox, that means there's a smaller court, but it also means that you got to work a lot harder.
Yeah. Especially in sand too, I couldn't imagine.
Another point for the Bulldogs. Gilkerson really putting on a clinic here, Maddox. The last 2 times he served, he scored 8 points in a row, and then he scored 7 points in a row, and it ends now.
Right there.
It ends now, but he just scored 3 points in a row and was not looking back at all. He built this lead 22-13, and if you do the math, he accounts for 18 of the points right now, him serving.
Because he's got such a powerful serve there. He just lofts it up and puts all his power into every serve.
Yeah, lots of hard work, and another reason that Coach Sylvester is so kind of fascinated with this Monrovia's team is because they're a small school as well. You always love to see the small schools do big things, and Monrovia has a really, really solid volleyball team, but so does Martinsville. Maddox. They've battled this entire time, have not backed down at all, and they're at a pretty decent record, 7-7 for only being your third year.
Yeah. Monrovia is a bit notorious for that small school, but a really good team in football a few years back. They were not doing so good in the regular season, but they made it to regionals when it came playoff time, and I know they've won state a few years back, 2015, around there. They had a state championship-worthy team. A lot of good guys come from just that small school, from a small town of Monrovia.
Yeah, Bennett sails that ball over as now we inch closer and closer to the end of tonight, Maddox. The Bulldogs with a 10-point lead. Just one more point needed to put this thing away. It's going to be Ellis with the opportunity. Sylvester to Sylvester to Sylvester. Blocked by the Bulldogs, but Monrovia gets the point. Martinsville gets the point. And now Garrett Gardner will have his shot at putting together a little run. Jones gets it over. Team's going crazy for him. He doesn't get a lot of those opportunities. How about that little hit there from Gilkerson? Maddox just getting it and tipping it right back over.
Oh, yeah.
Gilkerson with the nice set to Jones, but Monrovia was saying that it got blocked. They really wanted Jones to have that and end the game, but the Artesians get the point. Lead down to 8 now. Gardner still serving. Gardner to Sylvester, and the Bulldogs are there to block it and bring it on home. Tough battle, Maddox, but eventually the Bulldogs do take it, and that will do it from John R. Wooden Gymnasium as the Artesians lose to the Monrovia Bulldogs in 3 sets. I would like to thank everyone for watching, and a big thanks to the students in the broadcasting program at MHS who produced it. Isaac Gillum, Addison Ford, Gavin Long, and Maya Lewis. For those students, along with my broadcast partner, Maddox Dilly, I'm Bo Dilly. Good night, everyone.